Do you not ever get bored of booing me? Do you know why I come out here each week to start the show? Because I don't have to. I do it to see all of the stress and annoyance it causes all of you. You side against me week after week, and so this is my punishment for all of you. So shut up, sit down, and smile like the good sheep that you are, because I have more announcements to make. Firstly, some Royal Rumble news. I'd like to confirm that Travis Cottrell will be added to the Royal Rumble match. This is because he made a very generous donation to me and the company in exchange for this spot, so good for him. That means, including Mason Foster's conditional spot in the Rumble, we have 8 known entries into the Rumble match on Mayhem. And tonight, we will find out 2 more in the main event in a second chance battle royal, and for some men in that match, it will be their last chance to get into the match. The other thing I'd like to remind you all is that time is running out to fill an application in to join the Road to Glory tournament Season 2, open for both men and women this time around, so get them in soon because spaces are running out. You have until the sudden death pay-per-view to get your answers in, so be sure to do that. Later, losers, and thanks for the money.
Shut up and sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome to another episode of Monday Night Mayhem. This is episode number 93 now, and we are getting closer and closer to the Royal Rumble match at sudden death, which everybody is so hyped for, but unfortunately, due to all the preparation coming into this Rumble, we haven't had much women action, and the general manager has acknowledged that, and so tonight we start with a fatal 4-way match between 4 women who we haven't seen much of as of late, and the first woman down to the ring is our former champion in the trial era, Tiffany Abbott, who steps into the ring. I can't remember what her relation to Aaron Albright was, but she was his long-serving manager of him for quite some time. But for Tiffany, it's now a matter of proving herself again. She was so dominant in the trial era, but she's come here and she just really hasn't shown herself in the opportunities that she's been given. And now tonight she gets another opportunity. Remember, she will be in the 8-woman battle royal for a spot in the Insomnia for a women's championship of their choosing. And of course, the reason there hasn't been too much women's action is because a lot of the women's stuff is already known to us. We already know that all 4 Mayhem women that will be competing in the Battle Royal for Team Mayhem, well, not for Team Mayhem specifically, but on the Mayhem side, we know all the women that will be participating, and another one of them is Laya Rose, who is making her way down to the ring. She's had more than her fair share of falling outs with the former champion Sandra Piper, and she is making her way down to the ring now to get herself some warm-up before the pay-per-view. So yeah, we know the 4 women that will be there. However, the general manager has made it clear it's still unclear of whether or not Elliot Rogers is going to be cleared in time for sudden death and whether or not she'll be able to make an appearance in the Battle Royal. If not, he claims he does have a replacement ready to go if absolutely necessary. So we'll have to wait and see who he's prepared as a replacement, but it's going to be risky business trying to find a replacement late on down the line, so he needs to know sooner rather than later, I guess, whether or not he does need to replace. Anyway, Laya Rose is down here. Only 2 of the women present because, of course, Catherine Albright not 100% healthy either, but she's not needed tonight. Instead, we're going to get to see the 2 other women in action who will be a part of the Fatal 4-Way match for the Mayhem Women's Championship, and the first one down to the ring is Lulu Torres on her 3rd attempt now at the Mayhem Women's Championship. She's been up there, she's been a top contender, she's one tough girl to beat, but there's always been one person that separated her from glory, and that was Sandra Piper. And now she can get a chance at a little bit of revenge at Sandra Piper at sudden death by capturing her championship during her rematch clause. Now that would be a sight to behold, and I'm pretty sure Sandra Piper would not be happy about that in the slightest. And the other woman who will be in that match, the former manager of the Starboy, Adrian Reyes, who's becoming a star girl on this brand, of course, picking up the win on the Mayhem Women's Champion, Hallie Bowen, to get her and Lulu Torres into the match and turn it into a Fatal 4-Way. And despite the fact that Bowen and Piper are not happy about that, they just wanted to lock horns one-on-one in the ring. Instead, these 2 have got in the way and made things just that little bit more difficult for them. And Torres and Reyes, we understand, have a pretty decent friendship, but at the same time they know that it's every man for themselves when they step into the ring for the Mayhem Women's Championship at Sudden Death pay-per-view, which is going to be one hell of a show, that is for sure. And here we go. Bell rings, and away we go. 2 women who will be in the Women's Battle Royal, and of course then 2 who will be in the Mayhem Women's Championship match. All eager and ready to get some warm-up time and show what they can do. Of course, things are going to be even more difficult for them soon, as the general manager re-mentioned today. The Road to Glory tournament this time round open to men and to women. So a new woman will be entering either the Mayhem or the Fight Night rosters. So it's important now that more people are coming in. You can't afford to get lost in the shuffle because, say for example, both women end up on the Fight Night brand, or on the Mayhem or on the Fight Night brand. Then you're in trouble because you've got 2 more women to compete with, and you're already not really getting the opportunities that you're looking for. And that's exactly what these women have got to do now. They need to come out here and show what they're made of. Some of the women on this brand, they've branched out. I'd say Lulu Torres definitely has, despite her lack of success. Laya Rose has shown at times signs of being a champion. She's just been shy of one person. She's been unable to beat one person, and that person has been the most dominant woman in all of WIW, and that is Sandra Piper. But even she was dethroned eventually by Bowen. The only 2 I'd say haven't really branched out as such in this matchup, I'd say, is Adrian Reyes, who lands a massive super kick to the former trial era women's champion, who is the other woman I was about to say, Tiffany Abbott. And this was weird for Abbott, how much he has struggled coming back in here, because yes, she was probably a part of an easier women's era, but it doesn't mean that she didn't have to fight for it, and she did. She had some tough matches back then, and yet she conquered them all. She really showed what she was worth, but yet she's come back here, she's come back into wrestling. Maybe it was the time off, I don't know, but she just hasn't got going. She's made some mistakes in the past. Of course, remember, Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match, and it was Catherine Albright that won the match as Lulu Torres, as Tiffany Abbott let her take the pin. And we thought maybe they'd be working together, but they made it clear that their intentions were not to team. It was just missed opportunity at the time. Abbott thinking that she would have kicked out, and she didn't, I guess. And now look at this, Lulu Torres in the middle row inside, working away on Adrian Reyes. And Reyes has definitely struggled to find her place on the roster. It has to be said. She's been in and around the championship picture, and of course recently getting her first championship opportunity at Crash Course in the triple threat match, and now she will get one more again. She may have been struggling in the past, but she's starting to turn it around. That's what you've got to do, and Reyes is proving my point exactly. Beautiful fisherman suplex on the opposite side by Laya Rose. And Laya Rose was the closest, it had to be said, to dethroning Sandra Piper before she actually did go on to be dethroned. And it was a hell of a match last time out, and that was the closest that anyone had come to actually beating her at the time. Until eventually she was beaten. Look at that! Beautiful slam down there by Lulu Torres. And now Torres, everybody else down. This could be the opening she needs to put away Tiffany. Looking for that straight jacket powerbomb. Got it! Straight jacket powerbomb. But look at this, Reyes. Not going to waste any time to try and leech onto her. Oh, but look at this. Rolls through into the cover. Up at the cover now on Tiffany Abbott. Laya Rose trying to steal it. But well saved. Oh, now look at this exploder suplex. So much action happening right now. It's so hard to keep up with what's going on. But Adrian Reyes almost, Laya Rose almost stealing the win there from Tiffany Abbott. What is going on here? Hell of a scrap in the middle of the ring. And that's what always happens when someone rolls out of the ring. Oh, look at that. Nice bit of teamwork there by Laya Rose and Adrian Reyes. Whether that was intended or not, don't know. But it worked out well for both parties. Massive shoulder block in the corner. And now look at this. Lulu Torres back in the ring. And now Reyes has Rose back up. Oh, and she flips out well. And now Lulu Torres is going to go on the attack. Oh, look at that. Beautiful net breaker out of the full Nelson. And these women have been in a very fortunate position of knowing from pretty much the get-go that they were going to be in the positions that they are. Torres and Reyes, they had to fight for their spot, but they both will be in the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Championship match, which only meant that the other four will fill the spots for the 8-Women Battle Royal. And the only problems that anyone will have is injury problems. Wait, what's Tiffany going for here? Tiffany has Laya Rose in a bad position. Oh, look at that! That's a bit of a low blow. And I'm sure that would have hurt a lot more if you were a man. But I'm sure that the woman felt the exact same effect. And Tiffany into the cover. 1 count. And now Tiffany goes straight to the top rope. But look at this. She didn't notice Lulu Torres. And she falls onto the outside right onto Adrian Reyes. And Lulu Torres, the only woman standing, she's gone back to deal with Adrian Reyes while Laya Rose is still down in the ring. She might have been able to score the cover there if she'd attempted it. She was the only one who didn't, and now Lulu Torres is going to taunt. Tiffany might have been thinking a bit more adventurous there. She's going top rope. Meanwhile, looking for the straight jacket powerbomb. Yes, again. Oh, frog splash on one side. And a straight jacket powerbomb. Torres had to break up Rose's cover. She couldn't get the cover on Reyes as Tiffany Abbott went for the cover herself. And now dragging into the middle of the ring, away from the ropes. She might be able to do it here. No, Rose turns around really sharply there. Despite under fire from Tiffany Abbott. She turns it around though. Now picks her up. Oh, and just slams her down. Very nicely done. What battle this has been so far. All these women desperate to get in the ring and get themselves a warm-up for Sudden Death pay-per-view because they will all be in action and they can't afford to get lazy. I think it was bridging into a cover there, but foot was under the ropes. And now Laya Rose has an opening right in the middle of the ring now to deal with this match. Tiffany Abbott and Lulu Torres down on the outside. This could be Laya Rose's chance to walk out the winner of this match. There's a knee! Big knee to the jaw. Both women outside, desperately trying to get back in. And she can't do it. Laya Rose picks up the win. Huge victory tonight for Laya Rose, and it continues to prove my point. There's only one woman that she really struggles to keep down for a count of 3, and it's Sandra Piper. Well, I wonder if Laya Rose is to win the Battle Royal if she was to go and if she would be going on to face for the Mayhem Women's Championship, or would she try her luck and switch brands? I know for a fact that she doesn't exactly have the best history with the former Women's Champion Sandra Piper, so if she was to recapture it, you got to imagine that we'll be seeing Laya Rose going right for her. But Laya Rose, the creep of a woman, is ready to restake her claim for the Women's Championship as she warms up very nicely for the Battle Royal for the sudden death for a Women's Championship shot at Insomnia. Big prize on the line. Will Laya Rose be able to walk out, or will someone else be able to pull off that humongous feat at sudden death? We'll have to wait and see. It is time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, some tag team action, and the general manager has chosen a team to go up and face against Justice. However, after last week's display, I'm not sure that I'd want to go up against Justice after the punishment that they gave to the League of Gods last week. Remember, of course, it's sudden death. The League of Gods will face Justice for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships, the first ever Tag Team Championship match which will not feature the linebacks. And that's an interesting piece of history indeed. Tonight, though, they go up against former Mayhem Tag Team Champions themselves in Xavier... I know I was going to say that. Austin Creed and El Murpho, otherwise known as Up, Up, Down, Down. Tonight, they will be competing against the #1 contenders for the titles. Remember, Lachlan and Nadine Nathaniel, they've had one attempt at the tag titles previously, and that was against the Linebacks. But for the first time ever, the Linebacks will not be in the picture. And I'm sure if these two were in the same position, they'd be feeling awfully happy about that. But Lachlan and Nadine Nathaniel, Justice, with their second attempts at the Mayhem Tag Team titles. Remembering, of course, if Damas and Black Jesus do win at sudden death, then the chances of them going to Insomnia increases exponentially as tag team champions. Because, of course, if they lose at the pay-per-view following sudden death before Insomnia, then they have a rematch for the titles at Insomnia. If they win, then they're going to Insomnia as the tag team champion. So it could be a win-win situation unless Lachlan and AD Nathaniel can do something about it. Can they find a way to overcome the League of Gods, who have been in incredible form as of late? They've been trying to do it by beating them down, but the team hell-bent on Justice to the point where they are simply known as Justice. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel with a second opportunity at the Mayhem Tag Team titles at sudden death in just 3 weeks' time, including this show. The bell rings and away we go. And look at this, El Murpho coming straight out the gate here. And El Murpho and Austin Creed, they've admitted to being interested in pursuing some cruiserweight action, whilst the tag team division is, while the tag team title seems to be out of reach for them at this point. They've admitted they haven't come back strong from their injuries, and they want to take some time to actually work on that. And so tonight they have the opportunity to do just that. It's going to be an interesting tag team encounter between these guys. Of course, Lachlan and Nadine Nathaniel, I believe, have faced Up, Up, Down, Down before and come out the win. I'm pretty sure they have. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. Of course, Lachlan and AD Nathaniel rose to the top of the WIW tag ranks after winning the tag team tournament. Winning a tag team tournament where they faced the Cottrells twice, both in the first round and in the finals when the Cottrells came back as wild cards. And then, of course, they also beat as well one other team. Who was the other team? I'm tempted to say it was Up, Up, Down, Down, to be honest. And I think it might have been. Oh, big uppercut there. That was a very nicely done there by AD Nathaniel. AD Nathaniel and Lachlan, never ones to take lightly. Individually, they were both absolute destructive people. AD Nathaniel, very much a brawler, will take you to the outside any opportunity he gets, likes to use weapons and his bare fists to take you out of action. And as for Lachlan, of course, spent the first month, 2 months of his debut, not in the ring, but outside the ring, causing all kinds of havoc to everybody in the WIW universe. So separately, they are a problem for most people on the roster. Together, they are one of the biggest problems that we have here in WIW. Could you imagine them winning the tag team titles at sudden death? Could you imagine if these two can hold on to them to Insomnia? They've been one of the fastest rising teams we've had in this company since the Linebacks. But the Linebacks, of course, have fallen from grace, and quite dramatically so as well. Wilson has kept them off air for a while now, trying to get them to recuperate. And it'd be very weird not seeing them if they can't make it to Insomnia. Of course, Insomnia going to be the show of shows, hopefully the biggest show of the year. We've already got some great stuff planned, which I can't disclose. And of course, we still have a Royal Rumble winner to decide who's going to face for the World Championships. But most importantly for these two teams, it'll be about the tag team titles. And of course, if Up, Up, Down, Down can find somehow a way into the tag team title match, I'm sure they will take it. And now look at this. Spinebuster by AD Nathaniel. And they are rolling here, Justice. They've been in control since the minute this match started. And now trying to wrap this one up, maybe. Tag is made. And once again, the judge and the jury hit the Executioner to El Murpho. Executioner and into the cover. Is Creek going to be able to save it? He does at the count of 2. Keeps the match alive. But what a start it's been from Justice. And of course it started an assault on Creed, and that's, I think Murpho might have kicked out on his own accord, to be honest, because only just coming into the ring. But that Executioner, a lethal move. We've seen it work plenty of times before. And this match proving not to be an exception. That was a awkward landing there for El Murpho, and I think Lachlan managed to get his knees up there just to mess up the landing on the elbow drop. And now Lachlan taking him to the corner. And he's doing it with relative ease there. And maybe Murpho is slowing down a bit more than I initially thought. The Executioner clearly messing him up a little bit, if not a lot. Trying to make a tag here, Lachlan, and just being refused to let it happen here by El Murpho, who desperately needs a tag of his own. And he does. Back in comes Creed. And now look at his big strike to the gut. And tried to mount some more offense forward, and he couldn't do it. Well countered by Lachlan. And Lachlan, very, very proud Australian. Of course, wearing his own Australian-themed gear. And of course, one of the founders of Justice. I can't imagine that he wasn't the founding member. But at the same time, of course, AD Nathaniel with very similar ethics. And of course, these two found trust in each other by winning the tag team tournament. But it's clear that they have similar goals in mind, and that's why they're such a well-constructed tag team. They're two people with similar goals, similar mindsets, and similar ways of achieving their goals. But now they're on the heavy fire now, and Lachlan in serious trouble. Could be finding himself lost in the woods. Big connection with the clothesline. Very nicely done here by Woods, or Creed, whatever you wish to call him. He goes by both names. And now into the corner. This is problematic here for Lachlan. Unicorn Stampede inbound. And they've preferred this move in the past to the midnight hour, and this was actually proved to be more effective. Look at the amount of pressure being put onto the chest area of Lachlan right now. And it's beautiful tag team work between the two. And now Irish Whip. Oh, and a big drop kick in the corner to complete the Unicorn Stampede and into the cover. I don't think AD Nathaniel's going to be able to get there to break this one up. He didn't need to. Lachlan kicks out on his own accord. Oh, but now Lachlan's in trouble. Now Lachlan is in serious jeopardy. Look at this, the DDT coming in. DDT by El Murpho. And now rolls through. Goes for the cover again. Is that going to be enough to win against Justice? 2 count. What a contest this has been so far, and now all of a sudden, Justice under pressure. But they had the control in the early stages. Now need to try and get it back. And the Justice kick might just do that. Beautiful strike there. And he takes him out there, and he thinks he's done enough. Might have knocked him out cold with the kick. Is Woods going to be able to make the save? He does. Oh, look at this. Oh, tried to lift him up for a spine buster. Well stopped there by Woods, who saw that Lachlan was going for the finish and was interrupted. Regen was looking for that big combination leading into the knee strike, I believe, but Murpho was saved by his partner and now might be able to steal it here on the roll-up. Is that going to be enough to beat them? No, it's not. It's a 2. Lachlan fights out of it again, and sensing some desperacy here from the former Mayhem Tag Team Champions. And now in the corner again. Oh, look at this. Thinking big. Doing whatever it takes to keep him down. Adrian Nathaniel down on the outside. This could be the end of justice right here. Drop kick. Drive by. And it's actually busted him open. It's actually busted him open here with the drop kick. Just doing whatever it takes. Oh my god. He's still going. And a suplex to El Murpho. And Murpho tried to tag out, but Lachlan gonna make him pay for busting him open. And now look at this. Just choking him out, suffocating him as he rolls around. And just wrenching away on the neck. Doesn't bridge it into a proper submission, but it definitely softens him up. And now into the corner. He's already been hit with the Justice kick. Will he be hit with the Executioner? A second time now. Executioner inbound. Executioner. And into the cover again. And I think Murpho is going to get there fast enough. And he does. Creed, sorry. With Justice in control, but they lost it for a spell. Will they be able to keep control and go for the win? Or will El Murpho and Austin Creed find a way to keep the control, to get back the win here tonight? Tag is made. And back in comes El Murpho. Austin Creed. Getting the names mixed up now, Jesus Christ. And now into the corner, where he's going to take the time to taunt. That's disrespectful. And doing whatever it takes here tonight, up, down, down. Just making sure they get the job done. And clearly Justice have done a lot of damage. They've done enough to get the job done, but the interruptions from Creed and from Murpho just keep preventing the end. And there's an elbow drop from the top rope from Woods. And now he's going to wrench away on the neck as well. Trying to just soften him up here because Justice have been rolling since the get-go. They've had spells of losing the momentum. And this is one of them. And now Woods and Creed. And now Creed and Murpho just trying to keep it. And now to the corner looking for Lost in the Woods again. This is serious, serious trouble here for Lachlan and Adrian Nathaniel. Lost in the Woods. Clothesline. And Woods starting to feel the effects of what's been a tough matchup. They've both felt the pain that Justice has delivered. And still Justice advancing forward, just trying to get this one done. But no, well caught again by Woods. And into the tag. This time not going for the stampede. This time, Midnight Hour. Midnight Hour. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? The referee took ages there to get the cover. And Adrian Nathaniel saved by Lachlan, who was tossed back to the opposite side by Woods. Or by Creed. And the longer this match goes on, the tougher it's going to be for both sides to walk out the win here. And Lachlan and Adrian Nathaniel, who had this early control, have started to lose it. But they're trying to get it back. They're trying to show why they are Mayhem Tag Team #1 contenders. Yet again, they've earned their shot, and now they're proving it. Spinebuster by Nathaniel. And now Adrian Nathaniel into the middle of the ring. Is that Spinebuster going to be enough? Is that going to do the trick? Murpho kicks it too. And that was worrying signs there for Creed. He thought he had it, but then had second thoughts. And now, this new clothesline that he's developed. Look at this. Oh, the power! Folds him in half with the clothesline. And into the cover. That would have done it, but once again, Creed in at the speed of light to stop it. Oh, went for another Spinebuster, but Murpho steals it. And now into the cover. Trying to wrap this one up and steal the match. 2 count. Creed keeps the match alive, but he can't do that all day. He's been trying to keep his partner in this, and to be honest, he's not. Lachlan and Adrian Nathaniel with the control over him, and they've kept that the whole time. And now trying to prove me wrong as once again another Justice member busted open. And they seem to be catching them well here, which is where the blood is coming from, and now returns the favor. And Adrian Nathaniel and Lachlan doing whatever it takes just to get this job done. They've definitely deserved the win. Creed has kept the match alive. But for how much longer? How much longer can you save your partner from what is, to be honest, been a beatdown? And it's not even him that's been busted open, I just realised. And now looking for the DDT on a bleeding El Murpho. This has been one gruesome tag team encounter. DDT. And into the cover. Lachlan not going to be able to come back in and save the match. Oh wait, yes he does. Just able to nudge him to force the count. And Nathaniel saved by his partner. And this has been such a great match. Two teams going at it like crazy. And this is, if this is anything like what we're going to see at sudden death, we are in for a treat. Tag team titles will be on the line. This isn't even for the tag team titles, but yet so much blood has been shed. Looking for another massive clothesline. No, unable to do it. Well ducked here, and now Murpho might be able to steal the victory. Gets him in, looking for the Midnight Hour again. Midnight Hour. And into the cover. Is he going to be able to stop Lachlan from breaking it up? Yes, he is. But Nathaniel kicks. Nathaniel kicks on his own accord, and it's not going to stop Creed dancing, but I'd be a little bit concerned with that, to be honest. The fact that he's able to kick out on his own accord. And now Creed, look at this. Trying to take out Lachlan. That was a mistake. Should have left him alone. Lachlan escapes the grasp. Oh, but look at this. These two colliding now, and look at this. Creed attacking Lachlan as if he was the legal man. This is interesting stuff here from Creed. He's doing literally whatever he can think of to get this job done. Oh, and he completely botches the crossbody. Lachlan survives there. And it landed really awkwardly as well. And now Lachlan and Adrian Nathaniel trying to hype themselves up here. And it looks like going to be tossed back into the ring here by Lachlan. Oh, wait, no, look at this. Woods fighting him off here. Woods started this fight between him and the non-legal man, and now taking them both on right now. But now Lachlan giving his partner some space, separates him in the ring. And the count is rising here, and Adrian Nathaniel might not be able to get back in at this rate. The count is rising. Might be able to end this on... He might take this on count out here. I think Creed's gonna. Lachlan can't... Can Adrian Nathaniel get back in? Count of 9. Oh, he's in. He made it. Oh, and went for another spine buster, but well countered by Creed. And the spine busters just aren't working at this point. Needs to come up with something else. Woods gets behind, looking for a suplex and connects. Trying to crawl away here. And crawl to safety. Might have tried to make a tag as well. Couldn't do it, but now look at this. Swinging neck breaker from Woods. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? Oh! Nearly got it. And look at the carnage around the ring. 2 men busted open and bleeding already. And it could only get worse from here. The carnage that has been in this match, and it hasn't even been for the tag team titles. Now Irish whip to the corner. Trying to make the tag, and now look. Oh, look at this. Lachlan tried to get in here, and Woods trying to slow down Nathaniel if he can. Nathaniel's trying to hype himself back up and keep himself in this match. And this has been a brutal tag team encounter. Neither side backing that. Oh, wait a minute. Look at Murphy. Oh! On the steel steps. A belly to back suplex onto the steps. And this is ridiculous. Justice supposed to be the bad guys here, but Murphy and Creed are doing literally whatever they can think of to make this win easy for them. And now playing to the crowd almost proud of the fact that they're doing this. Well, Justice, you can't say they don't deserve this type of punishment. But at the same time, this match is never going to end if these two continue like this. We're going to have to come to an answer at some point on who's going to walk out the winner of this match. And right now, Woods and Murpho doing whatever it takes to win. Oh, look at that. Managed to avoid the spear to the Murpho. And now Creed's going to try and take advantage. Creed dragging him. Couldn't decide where he wants him and now just snaps him over the neck. A close tag team encounter between two top teams here on Mayhem. And just yet, no one can get the job done. And Lachlan and Nathaniel, they've been in the control. They've been in the driver's seat for the majority of the match, but they lost control for the moment. And now trying to get it back, maybe looking for one more executioner. Couldn't do it. And now Irish whip to the opposite corner. And now look at this, tried to go for maybe the midnight hour in the opposite corner. Didn't work, and now back to Justice's corner. Oh, and look at that, he gets caught as he tries to run over to him. And into the color of the Uranagi Slam. 2 count. And this tag team match just doesn't want to end. No one wants to give in. The crowd are loving this for what has been an incredible tag team encounter. To the opposite corner again. Oh, now what's he doing? To the opposite corner. He's going to try, but caught in an elbow. Oh, and looking for the spine buster again. Was too far away. Snap suplex. And now needs to tag. He does. And in comes Lachlan. And look, Creed, he was looking over to see if he could tag in his partner. And his partner is not in the right shape to be tagged in. He's calling for it, though. He sees his partner is struggling. But Lachlan back in the ring. And he's not going to let Woods escape that easy. Woods brought back to his feet. Lachlan tried to grab him and go for a gut wrench. Couldn't do it. Bridges into a Northern Lights. Creed and Murpho. And this is what I'm saying. How comes they couldn't put up this kind of fight for the Mayhem Tag Team titles? They won it once. Yes, they did have to fight a lot less, but they only won it once, and then when they had to retain it, they couldn't. They didn't put up anywhere near this level of a fight. And if they do this consistently, then maybe they would be tag team champions for a longer stint. Lost in the woods again. Well caught by Lachlan. Saw it coming. And now Lachlan, kick to the gut. DDT. Drilling Woods' face into the mat. And now trying to just wrap this one up if he can. But Austin Creed and Murpho literally doing whatever it takes, by the definition of the word whatever, to get it done. And now look at this, big knee! Busting open Woods. And now tagging in the only man who is not bleeding. AD Nathaniel comes in and look at him. He sees him on the floor in that state. Look at this. This is carnage. The absolute chaos in this match. And still we don't have a winner. Still neither team is backing down. Still somehow we are still going. And now look at this, into the corner. Gets caught again with the elbow by AD Nathaniel. Twists the arm. Sets him up perfectly there for a big clothesline. I was trying to line up for a bigger one, but Woods crawls away and tags in Al Murpho. Murpho in on the tag. Gets caught though with a big stiff arm. And takes down AD Nathaniel. He gets back to his feet quickly, but taken down with a big stomp. And another one. And a third one just to keep him down. Now Murpho trying to turn the tide and steal this win from Justice if he can. Looking for the DDT. In the middle of the ring, DDT. And he's taking a breather. He sees his partners down. He knows that's not going to be enough. So now trying to do what is enough. Murpho trying to put him away for good. Up on the shoulders. GTS! GTS by El Murpho. And into the cover, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it because Lachlan is on the way. Oh, yes, and Lachlan breaks it at 2. This is insane. I've never seen two teams continue to save each other despite the fact that everyone is literally bleeding, minus AD Nathaniel. At this point, you've got to think of your partner's safety. Who is going to freaking continue to wrestle when they're taking this much damage? Of course, Wwe2K and Creed have taken more than enough shares of injuries, which has kept them out for a significant amount of time. And has definitely slowed down their tag team progress. But by far, this is the most impressive they've looked since coming back from their injuries. But look at the state they're in. If they're not still injured, or still not 100%, they definitely aren't now. And now look at this. AD Nathaniel could be lining up for the end here. Looking for the clothesline. It's caught again. And counted into a power slam. And into the cover to get the win. 2 count. And just neither team can get the job done. This is insane. Justice trying to prove that they are the worthy #1 contenders for the tag titles. But Creed and Wwe2K sending a message of their own that they are back and they are better than ever. Lining up for the DDT once again. Can he get it done? DDT to AD Nathaniel. And somehow Nathaniel's not bleeding yet, but he lives on. And now to the corner again. Looking for another midnight hour. Tag is made. Surely this is it. For the final time. Midnight hour. To AD Nathaniel. Into the cover. Surely that's it. I don't think Lachlan's going to make the save. Up, up, down, down win. Well, they had to give a lot to walk out the winners here. And they've done the job. The executioner, which could have finished this match several times, but Woods and Creed pulled out every trick in the book that they could think of to keep themselves alive. And they did just that. And in the end, Wwe2K and Creed get the victory over Justice. Justice has been served. Just like last week when we served it to those 2 morons that hold the title. We lost to a bunch of cheaters this week, and week in and week out this happens, just like these 2 here prove. And therefore we laid down the law. Cheaters never prosper. Damas and Jesus, they are no gods. They think they beat the odds winning the title, but what they didn't do was beat us. The League of Gods are a scam. Damas makes his fragrance with endangered flowers, and Black Jesus tells you he's the strongest guy in the business. Well, it's amazing what modern medicine can do for a man. The League of Gods feed you these lies and make you believe that they are the good guys in order to get you to buy their crap. But we have uncovered the truth, as we always do. The tag division is plagued with criminals and injustice. We are the ones cleaning out that plague. So you can say we're the villains, but we will do whatever it takes to make sure that mayhem is brought to justice. And once we are the champions, justice will ensure that the tag division will be permanently cleaned out. Justice will be served. Awfully happy about that. Next up tonight, a champion versus champion matchup. The Cruiserweight champion, Jake Griffiths, will be going up against the WIW champion, Aaron Albright. So what a match we have in store this week for you guys, of course. This is because I believe last week, it was SDC versus James Rowley. The 2 contenders went at each other. And now tonight, the 2 champions go at each other. And the first man down to the ring is the Cruiserweight champion, Jake Griffiths, who hasn't brought the Cruiserweight title down to the ring with him. And interesting decision. Oliver Regen made that decision as well when he was Cruiserweight champion, but maybe choosing to protect it, wear it for special occasions. I'm not too sure on the reasoning, but Jake Griffiths doesn't wear it down to the ring, but he is a history maker at the last pay-per-view. That was Danger Zone. Jake Griffiths made history, becoming the first ever man to win the Cruiserweight Championship twice. But at sudden death, he has to face him one more time. He will be going one more time between James Rowley and Jake Griffiths for the Cruiserweight title, and hopefully it will be the final time that these 2 collide for the championship Will we have a decisive winner? We'll have to wait and see when we get there. But next up is the WIW champion, who will have his own set of problems when he gets to Danger Zone. Sudden Death. The WIW champion Aaron Albright will once again be colliding with SDC for the WIW Championship. And SDC has been an impressive form as of late. However, he has been targeted by a lot of people. Of course, he had that whole incident in their last match where Stephen Miller got involved and Aaron Albright was there, and it was a real cluster of people in that ring. And it was SDC that had made to pay the price for that. But now Aaron Albright can use that momentum and carry on his impressive reign. This is his 4th reign as WIW champion, but only the first time he's actually been able to hold it for longer than a month. Bell rings, and away we go, and we'll see how this one progresses here tonight. And look at this, straight out the gate, slamming his face of the champion. And Jake Griffiths, of course, made it clear he'd love to be a world champion. Remember, this isn't technically his brand, so he wouldn't be able to compete for Albright's title, but he's allowed to compete on both brands as the Cruiserweight champion. Did you see how unlucky he got there? He would have landed that perfectly, but just lifting up a shoulder as Aaron Albright to give him the edge. 2 big championship matches await these men. Of course, James Rowley and Jake Griffiths collide for the final time for the Cruiserweight Championship. And of course, neither of them will get a rematch after that. The general manager has made that clear, and Aaron Albright might be having his last time defending his championship against SDC. Put him away at Crash Course, only just, but he did it. And now has to do it again at the next pay-per-view down the road, which is Sudden Death, which will begin the road to Insomnia. And now look at this. Oh, well got behind there by Jay Griffiths, who's trying to steal this here on the roll-up. Oh, but now look at this. Aaron Albright trying to do the same, and he gets a 2. The WIW champion has had to beat a lot of people to get those reigns. He's beaten some of the biggest names, of course. He beat Rage. Oh, wait. Oh, look at this, James Rowley. James Rowley's here. Look how mad he looks as he makes his way down to ringside. James Rowley, former Cruiserweight champion. Lord, look at this. Albright tried to take advantage here of the distraction, but Jake Griffiths didn't let it happen and lands the leg sweep instead. And James Rowley now disappears down the ramp, just trying to play the mind games, trying to distract him from the goal at hand, of course, and that would be the retaining of the Cruiserweight Championship at Sudden Death. And of course, Aaron Albright, as I was saying, he beaten some of the biggest names in the brands. He's beaten Rage for the title. He's beaten Jace, Jaden. He's beaten King Sam of all people. And no one would have thought he'd been able to do that, especially if you watched him at the trial era. But Aaron Albright, he's been very impressive this time round, and he's the 4-time world champion. No one else has had as many reigns as him, but a lot of people have had more combined days as champion than he has. Now look at Jake Griffiths begging him to get up. He's infuriated now. Been hyped up, been revved up here by James Rowley, and maybe that's what he's trying to do, get him angry and trying to make him make mistakes here. And that's not something you can afford to do, especially against the 4-time WIW champion, who might be lining up now for a curb stomp. Got him! And it busted him open as well. Why? There is a lot of blood on today's episode. We don't usually see this much blood. We don't usually see bloods from worse than this, but now all of a sudden, the blood is flowing. And I think the blood all came about after the triple threat match last week for the first blood, and now all of a sudden everybody's bleeding. Clearly, people starting to hit harder again, just like they used to. And now throwing him over the shoulder. Very nicely done. And now look at this. Oh, very nicely done there. Pump handle suplex. And hit him with a curb stomp. And of course, he has his own variation of the curb stomp. He calls the bunny hop. And the Burrow can do with that here because he's not looking in the best of states. Clear the distraction. Still in his mind. And it's costing the momentary lapse that has given Albright the control. And now Albright from the top rope. What's Albright thinking? There's an elbow drop right to the heart. And the WIW champion, of course, he's got more things to worry about than James Rowley tonight, but Jake Griffiths tonight. But if he can put him away, that's going to fill him with some confidence coming into Sudden Death. He's got him on the ropes. Oh, and look at this. Tossed over the ropes there by Jake Griffiths. Oh, now look at this. He's taunting. He can't afford to be doing that. Pays the price with a chop block. And now going to pay the ultimate price for taunting the 4-time WIW champion to put away the burrow. Super kick. Super kick right to the jaw of the burrow. And Aaron Albright knocks off the Cruiserweight champion. Just like that. Well, of course, as I was saying, he's got bigger things to worry about because SDC is gunning for his title. And he knows that. And he knows how big of a threat SDC can be. He's faced him before. He just walked out with the win, but will he be able to do it again at sudden death? Remembering, of course, that if he wins, he's going to be probably one of the big targets for whoever wins the Royal Rumble. And, of course, we won't know until we have a winner whether they're going to go for Aaron Albright or not. But Albright not only has to worry about SDC, he has to worry about the Royal Rumble winner as well. But, of course, if he defends at sudden death, his chances of going to Insomnia increase exponentially. But the question is, will the 4-time WIW champion continue his dominant form and beat SDC, the hero of wrestling, once again? We'll have to find out at sudden death in just a few weeks' time. But let's move on down the rest of the card. Awfully happy about that. We move on from champion versus champion for now a championship match. Once again, the European Championship is put on the line in what is another open challenge. Mason Foster is being forced to dish out here tonight. Of course, remember, if he defends against everybody, then he is going to the Royal Rumble as well. And look who's come out to face him. The general manager said that he had a special prize in mind for him if he was to walk out the winner at the Danger Zone pay-per-view. He did that. He won the 30th spot for the Mayhem brand. And now Oliver Regem has been rewarded with a Cruiserweight Championship opportunity. Well, of course, remember, Oliver Regem will be in the Rumble, just not number 30. But now he has the opportunity to walk into the Rumble as the Cruiserweight Champion. Remember the conditions. If Regem wins here tonight, Mason Foster will not be the European Champion. Obviously, he will be forced to cash in his rematch at sudden death and will not be in the Rumble. And of course, Regem, either way, he'll either walk out the champion and be in the Rumble, or just lose the championship but still be in the Rumble. So I guess it's kind of win-win, but I'd still want to be a champion if I were him. Of course, if James Rowley wins here tonight, he'll have 2 more matches following this. And if he defends it all then he gets himself a spot in the Royal Rumble match. And he'll be the only champion entering that match. Mason Foster is up next. The European champion, having his most successful reign out of the 2. Of course, the first time round, losing the title immediately to Brad Skeens after winning it from Jace. Of course, there were a lot of questions about the way he won the first one and the way he's gone about his business. A lot of people don't think he had what it takes to be a world champion, to be a champion here in WIW. But he's managed to do it. He captured the championship again in a steel cage match, I'm going to say. I believe it was. Steel cage match against Jax Wolfe at Lockdown. And he's held it since then and will continue to hold it. He beat Jax Wolfe in a rematch, and since then he's gone on to beat Robert Hall. And who was the other guy? There was someone else. Robert Hall, and who did he face last week? I can't even remember. I don't remember. But nonetheless, he's got 2 down and he's got 3 more to go. And this is his 3rd task. The general manager not making it easy for him whatsoever. The Welsh flag's on there currently. But can Oliver Regem put the flags of Great Britain, as he has on his armbands, over to that title? Regem, the challenger, former Cruiserweight champion, and he knows what it takes to hold the gold, and of course won the 30th spot for the Royal Rumble to give himself this opportunity. But the question is, can he do it and capture the title from this man, the 2-time European champion Mason Foster, who is trying to make history? He wants to main event Insomnia as the European champion and push for a world title as well. Will he be able to do that? Will he be able to do what Jace could never do? The one thing that Jace always wanted but could never do, and that is hold both the WIW and European Championship. That's obviously the goal he's going for. Whether or not he'll be able to do it, we'll have to wait and see, but the European Championship has to be the priority for Foster. He can't do what Jace did. Jace bit off more than he could chew, and Jace lost it as a result to him. He should know full well what happens when you try to take on too much at once. But for Mason Foster, he has a clear goal in mind, and we know what he's like when he has a task in mind. He isn't going to back down. Big, big challenge for Mason Foster here tonight, and they shake hands as they've done every single week so far. And the bell rings, and away we go. European Championship on the line. Of course, Oliver Region, as I said, a former cruiserweight champion. Been a part of some big matches in WIW. Look at this. Referee forcing the break there and having to do it. And of course, Oliver Region, as we saw in the past, was quite a good champion. Able to retain against Travis. I believe on 2 separate occasions, actually. Unfortunately for him, though, in the end, his reign only lasted the 1 month, despite 2 title defenses, as he lost it to Jake Griffiths, who is the current cruiserweight champion, and he couldn't cash it, couldn't get it back the following week on the rematch clause that he cashed in. Maybe he cashed in too early, I don't know, but an interesting chain grappling sequence here between these. We don't usually see too much chain wrestling. Oh, look at that, dropped onto the knee by Mason Foster. And Mason Foster has had a tough road just to get to this Royal Rumble match. And then I'm sure that must have, that must pee him off a bit because, he's been hearing all these people winning their matches in one-on-one matches and things like that. And of course, Travis didn't even win a match. Travis just bought his way into the Royal Rumble match. He literally just went to the manager. He goes, here's however much he gave him, and just bought himself a ticket to the Royal Rumble. And of course, in tonight's main event, we'll be crowning 2 more spots for the Royal Rumble match. So that will bring up the total of Mayhem entrants to 9. Including Travis, that will bring it to 9 entries. And so far, here is what we have confirmed. Of course, Mason Foster technically would be number 10 if he could hold on to his spot and get himself into the title match, into the Royal Rumble match, into the cover. The referee just refusing to make it. I don't think it would have been much more than a 2, but referee clearly not paying any attention to start this one off. So the current Mayhem participants in this Royal Rumble, we have Robert Hall, Jaden, Oliver Regem, Dixon, Brad Skeen, Steve Miller, Travis Cottrell now, and possibly Mason Foster. And we will crown 2 more in tonight's main event shortly after this. Oh, look at this! Where did this come from? Oh, I thought he was going for the Regem combo there. No, just very nice combination from the best striker in the business. And he continues to prove that week in, week out. Oliver Regem showing his striking prowess. And of course, over on the Fight Night brand, we have 7 participants known to us now. We have K.O. Oxley, Carter James, Dino D, Peter Bolton, PJ McNair, the Ultimate Form, of course, Def Lordicus, and Harry Austin. Look at that! Discus! Discus clothesline! Foster is in trouble here. If he connects with those, lethal combination in the business. Regen combo! Regen combo! Into the cover by Regem to become the European champion. Couldn't do it. Mason kicks out at 2 from the Regem combo. And Regem should have guessed that it might have taken more than that, but just trying to make life as difficult as possible for the European champion, who found a way to kick out at 2. And of course, not just the men's Rumble that we're competing for, we have the women's Battle Royal. Of course, so far we already know the 4 Mayhem women. That's Elliot Rogers, if she's eligible. Oh, look at this. Spinning heel kick. Spinning heel kick. Where did that come from? Oh, and he couldn't do it. Spinning heel kick didn't get the job done, but now turning him around into the Welsh Dragon Sleeper. The Welsh Dragon Sleeper. Is he going to be able to put him to sleep? He's done it. That lethal submission hold does it again. And I didn't even get to finish my point on the Women's Championship bit. But no matter. Foster, for the 3rd time in a row, has retained the Mayhem the WIW European Championship, and I thought Regen might have done it there with the Regen combo, but then all of a sudden from out of nowhere, the spinning heel kick, knocking out the striker, and then once he was already softened down and he kicked out of the, kick, he manages to connect with the Welsh Dragon Sleeper, and Mason Foster successfully retains again. He's now 2 title matches away from the Royal Rumble match. The general manager has made him work hard to get around the loophole that no champions will be competing in the Rumble. But tonight, he makes another step towards defying the odds. I told you he has a clear mission in mind. He wants to be European and WIW champion. He wants to do what Jace never could. And he's been compared to Jace every single reign that he's had so far. But the European champion, Mason Foster, the 2-time European champion, Mason Foster, wants to make history. And he's willing to do that no matter what it takes. Another incredible title defense for him here tonight. And Oliver Regem, unfortunately, couldn't make the break here tonight, but hopefully we'll have better luck in the Rumble. Mason Foster, though, still on the road to getting his spot in the Rumble confirmed, but he's definitely on the right track. Just 2, that's 3 down, 2 more to go. Let's move on to tonight's main event. Awfully happy about that. Main event of the evening tonight is a 6-man battle royal. For some people, it's their second chance. For some, it's their first. But for all of them, there are 2 spots available in the Royal Rumble match. We are looking at crown number 8 and number 9 for the Mayhem spots. And of course, Mason Foster technically would be number 10 if he can defend for the next 2 weeks. Whether he'll be able to do it or not, that remains to be seen. Alan Hart, he's out first. Alan Hart lost on an opportunity to get into the Rumble against Robert Hall. And of course, he also faced Oliver Regem for the right to face Trevor Jackson for the number 30th entry into the Royal Rumble. So he hasn't had the best of roads to the Royal Rumble, but building up to it, he's been incredible. He was unbeaten for quite some time in the Mind Games month. He really proved to be a task for everyone. Of course, went on to be part of the Mayhem team that lost to Fight Night, unfortunately. But for Alan Hart, he slipped down again, and he can't afford to go back to the bottom of the pile where he was in the past. And now tonight, he gets another opportunity to get into the Royal Rumble. And next up, coming down to the ring. I remember a lot of these people, it's their second attempt. And for this man, it's his second attempt in 2 weeks. It's Bomber, who, has to be honest, is at the bottom of the pile. He has struggled to win matches since his debut. He can't get past one guy in particular, and that is Dixon, who of course kept him at the Rumble as well last week, despite Bomber putting up one of the best showings he's had. But Bomber has the potential to be a champion. He has the potential to be a true powerhouse. He just hasn't found a way to use that overwhelming power and strength to be, to do what he needs to do to get the win. He just hasn't found the way to do it. But tonight, if he can find himself into the Rumble, imagine him going on to win the Rumble. That could be huge. A huge turnaround for that man's career if he's able to do it. Next man down to the ring. It is the star boy, Estrella Chico, who of course missed out on an opportunity in the Rumble in a fatal 4-way between Brad Skeens and Stephen Miller. And of course, Travis Cottrell also lost in that match an opportunity to go to the Rumble. But because he was so rich, he bought himself a spot. So, of course, finding more ways to make everybody hate him, because that's just what Travis Cottrell does. But El Estrella Chico, the star boy, the only man in that match not with a spot in the Rumble, and now has another chance to get in the Royal Rumble. I was going to say it was his last chance, but maybe it might not be for a lot of these people, because we've still got places to fill. And, of course, I'm sure everybody's going to be desperate to walk out the winner. And tonight, I'm sure they'll be able to do that. Of course, Mason Foster still with a spot in reserve. And if he does get those spots, that means we will have 2 spots left to crown after tonight. But we will have, of course, Mason Foster's spot still up for grabs, so it could be 3. But we are running out of Mayhem spots. And look who else is in this match. How the heck? What? What is Creed doing back out here? There is no way in hell, that this man is going to be ready for this matchup. If you saw his earlier matchup against Justice, they did walk out the winner, but they were beaten down afterwards by the team that they had beaten. And now Woods, after being busted open in that match as well, is going to try and get him into the Royal Rumble. How the hell is this man going to make it to the Royal Rumble? I have absolutely no idea. Well, I know who's not winning this match. I'll tell you what though, if he does win this match, Jesus Christ, that truly would mean that he's ready and back from injury. But I think he's just risking further injury by participating in this match. But clearly that's what it means to everyone. A spot at Insomnia, the main event on the grandest stage of all. He's up for grabs. And I tell you what, this man, more than most, needs this opportunity. He's missed out on several opportunities since arriving on the main roster, since arriving at Mayhem. But he was the first ever world champion, so he knows what it takes to be a world champion. And now tonight, doing whatever it takes to get back to the top. Original Brad on his way down to the ring, who has been in a really bad slump as of late. More and more people recognizing his submission defense weakness and exploiting it. But tonight, this isn't exactly the type of match where that's going to matter. It's a six-man over-the-top battle royal in preparation for the Royal Rumble, of course. And so tonight, this could be Brad's best opportunity. Remember, he only has to be in the final two. That's how this is going. The final two participants in this match will get Royal Rumble spots, but the winner will get a higher spot than the other person who will be in this Rumble. With spots limiting, this could be Brad's last chance to get into the Royal Rumble. What a huge downfall it would be for Brad if he is to do that. And now, I believe this is the last guy coming down to the ring. I believe so, if I've counted correctly. And I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think this guy has not had an opportunity to get into the Royal Rumble as of yet. He's been a bit preoccupied. He was first trying to win back his European Championship, and then, of course, hasn't had a chance since then. But the general manager giving him his first one tonight. It is the former European champion, Jax Wolfe. His last chance, well, his first chance. It probably won't be his last chance since it is his first chance. First chance for Jax Wolfe to get himself into the Royal Rumble match. The former European champion has had his eyes set on the world title for a long time. And now tonight, will try and hunt down the World Championship if he can. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he could do it. Jax Wolfe, what a story that would be. Starting from on a temporary contract and losing the temporary contract all the way back in WIW to all the way go to WIW and main event the first ever Insomnia for the World Championship. The bell rings and these guys are already underway here. Remember, the final two will be going to the Royal Rumble match. The winner will have the highest spot of the two, just like Brad Skeens and Steve Miller did. And Steve Miller, of course, managing to get the highest spot than Brad Skeens, but Brad Skeens is in the Rumble, so he should definitely count himself lucky on that regard. And of course, it's a big opportunity for everyone in the Royal Rumble to main event the first ever Insomnia for a title of their choosing. For some of these people in the ring, I wonder who they would go for. I have a feeling I know for a couple, maybe. Alan Hart, I can't see him leaving the Mayhem brand to make the switch for Fight Night. It wouldn't be logical for him. Jax Wolfe hasn't had a shot at the world champion yet, and of course he's had his run-ins with Albright in the past, so maybe he'd be interested in pursuing him again and going for the WIW title. Estrella Chico, another one who I don't see a reason why he'd be going for the other brand. I think he'd be going for the Mayhem World Championship as well, if he could do it. Bomber, I don't know. I think Bomber will take what he can get at this point. Might have a crack at the Mayhem title, might have a crack at the World title. Who knows? I think he'll take what he can get if he could walk out the winner. Brad, honestly, I think he would go back to the other brand. I mean, I know he went away because of what King Sam and the Wolfpack did, but with King Sam and the Wolfpack preoccupied, he could be able to sneak back in and get the World Heavyweight Championship. Or, whilst the Wolfpack are dealing with Max Danger, if they do capture the championship, he might be able to take it take advantage and capture it. Of course, he does want a world title again, and he might be able to go for the only world title he's never won. Look at Woods. Oh, look at Creed. Creed picks up the first elimination. How the hell is Creed even fighting in this match? The beating he's taken already. Oh, look at that. A stun off the ropes. What an incredible... Oh, look at this bomber. Military press. Taking down original Brad, who got caught taunting. While Creed, showing some true fighting spirit, somehow fighting this match and somehow already has an elimination. And for Alan Hart, I'm pretty sure that's it. He's had 3 chances now to get to the Royal Rumble. I don't think we're going to be seeing Alan Hart, the All Hart, in the Royal Rumble. And it's such a shame because after such a dominant month of action, him not to be there is such a disappointment, as it will be for many of the people seeing that, as Estrella Chico is eliminated from the match by Bomber. And look at Bomber celebrating. That's technically his first actual win of the series. Now, I'm joking, of course. He won. He had a nice little win streak for the beginning of his time, but then slipped down the rankings further and further with a series of losses. And he's paid the price for it. Just like that, we're down to 4. Brad, original Brad, Bomber, Jax Wolfe, and Austin Creed. If Creed survives this is going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. If Brad Skeens somehow survives... no, Brad Skeens. If somehow Austin Creed, after being busted open earlier, after being beat down with chairs, after being in one of the most gruesome matches we've seen in tag team... in a tag team championship, tag team division in ages. If he is to walk out the winner of this, I would be absolutely amazed. And now look at this, Jax Wolfe with a very nice combination and following through with an elbow. Trying to keep the big man down with a series of strikes, and meanwhile Creed trying to work away on original Brad, trying to get rid of Brad, and what an upset that would be if he could do it. Original Brad on the ropes in a groggy position, and now look at this, the double team here on Jax Wolfe. Remember, the next 2 eliminated will be out, and of course the final 2 will be going to the Royal Rumble match. 2 spots up for grabs, 4 men trying to get it. So far, Alan Hart and Estrella Chico already gone. Now look at this. Oh, look at that. A nice little swing out cutter there onto Jax Wolfe, and Jax Wolfe, of course, has his own version of a cutter, and hasn't been able to land it as yet. Hit with a cutter of his own. And now Bomber, who looked pretty impressive in this match, has to be said, now in a bad position. And now might be in the receiving end of a clothesline that's taking him over the top rope. Jax Wolfe eliminates Bomber. Well, this could be it. If Creed can survive one more person, Creed is going to the Royal Rumble. And it will be the same for whoever survives with him. Austin Creed just going to let these 2 battle it out wisely. Brad, original Brad, surely this is his last opportunity to get into the Royal Rumble. What a disappointment it would be if he doesn't make it. Jax Wolfe now, bringing him back to his feet, trying to get the elimination. This could be the upset. Brad survives. Trying to force his arms off the ropes and throw him over. But Brad survives, only just to be tossed out. Brad's out. Brad is out. And Creed, just in pure survival mode, survives. Austin Creed and Jax Wolfe are entries number 8 and 9 confirmed in the Royal Rumble match. Of course, both with an elimination each, I believe. Actually, no, Jax Wolfe has 2 eliminations. If he makes this 3rd one here, he could be good. Somehow Creed here, after being double booked and the odds all are stacked against him, has gone on to win! What? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Right when you think you've seen every surprise and any surprise that you could get on this series, we've just seen Austin win this Battle Royal after already being beaten down earlier tonight. But to be honest, I'm not sure if he's going to be in the best condition to go to the Royal Rumble, but he's won 2 matches tonight, so he clearly is doing something right. What an incredible night from Austin Creed. Clearly, the recovery is true, and the up, up, down, down team are back on top. And now El Murpho can sit back and celebrate, despite him probably being in a terrible state as well, as Austin Creed celebrates for the 2nd time tonight, as he has just booked himself a spot, and a high spot at that, in the Royal Rumble match. That's going to conclude tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.